Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. Today we're going to be working on giant death spaceships because spaceships are cool. Let me just double check the music. There we go. We got the FTL soundtrack playing in the background because FTL is a fantastic game that I don't get to have fun with because it likes to screw me over and punch me in my face. So, let me get everything set her up here. So, I have been doing a little bit of work. As I usually do in between things, you may have noticed, oh no, there's no weapons here. Da-da! Yeah, we got guns. Here's our giant spaceship laser guns. Also notice that I misspelled automatic because I'm in fact an idiot. It's actually an accomplishment, I swear. I can taste dinner still. Good dinner, don't get me wrong. Good dinner. Let's shrink these all down. Missiles. So, we are completely redoing the way we're doing guns in this system, but that means we also have to redo how ships are done. So we have starship combat, oh my goodness. So that does mean that we get to put on the types available. So, I'll put an enter right there, perfect, and we should just have enough for the types available. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Type effect. So overall we have automatics, directs, launchers, beams, point defense, bombs, short range, and long range and EMP. So we're going to highlight all of you, hit the magic thing right there, bada bing, bada boom, make everything nice and pretty like, 'cause that's what we like to see. We like things to be pretty. X on there. So if we automatically do negative 1d6 damage, and we get a +1 to hit. Equal to or larger ships. Should actually make that a +3 to hit. So pretty much you are trading out damage to do a direct. So plus 1d, got 1d6 damage. 1d6. Actually, we're gonna make that plus 2d6 damage and -2 to hit. -2d6 damage, plus 2 to hit, recharge 1. I'm actually going to have to make a footnote in here. I will actually do that right now. Footnote. Recharge value equals the amount it will have to wait before it and be used again. 1d6 damage, -2 SD range, and +1 to hit equal or larger size vessels. Bam. Continuous damage on a single ship. Continuous 2. Continuing. Actually, it's going to be negative 2d6 damage. Continue again with the continuous bonus, which is footnote. Every turn roll to hit with this weapon, in addition to the normal action. The value of a beam weapon, pretty much if you have a laser beam weapon, is that you're going to be continuously hitting with it, and if you, let's say, hit a frigate, for example, you're going to do it 1d6, 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 1d6 hull, 1d6 hull, 1d6 hull, 1d6 hull, 1d6 hull, 1d6 hull. Like, you're going to melt a ship that isn't ready. Point defense. Negative 3d6 damage. Negative 3d6 damage. Missile void. That destroys 1d6 missiles on approach. Bomb. Bombs have a +3 to hit a cruiser or higher size, but a -6 to hit a actually it should be a destroyer higher actually cruiser higher -6 to hit a frigate or smaller. And as you can see here, bombs are really, really strong, as they can just melt someone really fast. You can do a potential of up to 60 damage, which is kind of death to like a majority of different... In addition to various things that can and will kill you, bombs will absolutely wreck your ship, but you have to get into 0 SD range, which is very dangerous. Now, you may be wondering what the strength and weaknesses are. I'm going to get to that in a second. Short range. -2 SD, fires a volley of 2d6 missiles at, actually fires a volley of 4d6 missiles at the target. -2d6 damage, -2 SD, fires a volley of 4d6 missiles at the target. Actually, 3d6 missiles. +2d6 damage, +2 SD, fires a volley of 2d6 missiles at... Fires a volley of 2d6 missiles, and that will... EMP shuts down one utility system every time it strikes a vessel. This must be restored. This must be restored at the start for an action. actually. EMP deals no damage to the vessel. However, it deals double damage to shields. Make that 3d6. All right. Yeah, we're not going to be able to fit everything in here, so we're going to hit that button. We're going to make you a little bit longer. And we're going to get continuous. We're going to insert the footnote right here. Every turn. Place without formatting. And we want to go boom, boom. 46 missiles at the target. And strengths and weaknesses. Actually, what I should do is back up. Every type of weapon. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here and make that normal. Downs. Every weapon has a value. It has a type of armor it is strong against and weak against. If a weapon is strong against something, it completely mitigates the protection provided, but does not reduce protection provided. If the weapon is weak against a type of protection, its value is doubled. So, effectively speaking, let's say we have a railgun and we're going to shoot at shields. You know, we're going to shoot at someone with, let's say, 10 points of shields and 6 points of armor. So, we're going to roll our 4d6. Yeah, let's dice roller 4d6. Yeah, let's just roll the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like we rolled a 17. Yeah, 17. Cool. We rolled 17. And they have 10 shields, 5 armor. We ignored that. But they have, since we're weak to armor with our railgun, we're only going to be doing 7 damage to it. Because it has 5 armor. So, pop. Oh no, we're not doing any damage to it. Oh no. But what happened if we hit them with lasers? Oh no, you may say. Our armor's completely goddamn useless. Because it's... And you are correct. Now, you may notice plasma isn't strong or weak against anything. That's on purpose. You're not really getting the benefit of being weak against it. You're not really getting the benefit of being strong against it. So you're kind of just mitigating it normally either way. So, let's see. I should also add the recharge value. Recharge footnote. Recharge forces the weapon to be on cooldown until the next round. Cooldown for a full round. after its use. So pretty much you use it. You can't use it next turn, but you can use it the turn after. So. If you want to know how you destroy capital ships, you get a fighter and you drop bombs on that bitch. Actually, I should put a point in each weapon type takes up a single room. It takes up a single room in a vessel. Larger vessels may dedicate multiple rooms to a single type weapon, in which case the ship may then either have a secondary weapon, secondary type of the weapon, or augment their armament by increasing its to hit, damage by plus 1d6, or range by 1. Damage by 1d6, range by 1. So, effectively what this is saying. So let's say I have a kinetic. Actually, if this is the case, I'm going to bump everything down by 1. So effectively, let's say I have my cool ship, and I have, let's say, I'm going to dedicate 10 rooms to weapons. And slots in my ship are going to go to weapons. So I want a railgun. Well, that takes up 1 room, so I only have 9 rooms now. And I'm going to give it, we'll call it a direct railgun. A direct railgun. We just have a big shooty railgun that goes pew pew pew. And we're going to dedicate another room to it to give it a +1 to hit, and another room for +1 SD. We want to snipe with this ship. So that is officially 3 rooms that we have used to improve our direct railgun. Let's say we want another railgun though. So we want a launcher railgun. And we want a +2 to hit on this baby. We want to slam people as far away as possible. So, okay, we're reducing it by 3. All right, cool. Now, that isn't really doing. What happened if we encounter someone with a lot of shields and we can't bypass them? A lot of armor. Let's pick up a laser. So we're going to pick up a laser, and we're just going to increase the damage by 1, plus 1d6 damage. Not terribly impressive, but it doesn't need to be impressive. It's there to mitigate a single problem in our repertoire. So now we have 2 rooms available, 2 rooms dedicated to our weapons. I'm like, what do we need now? What are we missing? We got the range. We got some close range. We got to deal with some armor. So I think we need something to really kind of tie everything together. Let's get a flat cannon. Let's get a flat cannon with a +1 to hit. That's our kind of our tour de force. We pepper them with the railgun, and we hit them with our launcher railgun. We slap our laser on them, so they're constantly taking damage. Actually, I should launch a railgun, and this would be a beam laser. And let's see, we're gonna have a direct flat cannon. And again, this is our job. This is what our plan of action is. And we see down here direct hoot plus 2d6 damage on our flat cannon. Our goal in life is to rush up to you with our flat cannon and blow you in the face with it, because it is a giant death shotgun. Don't you want a giant floating death shotgun on your beautiful gun, ship, thing? This only gets more ridiculous when you're dealing with things akin to, if I go down here, the larger ship types, which you may have 20 rooms to work with, or you may have some, or you may have more and more, space to actually work with. I'm actually going to increase the size of these. 6, let's double that to 12, let's double that to 24, and let's get 40 in here. 48. Actually, we'll do 12, we'll increase that by 18, and then we'll do 25, 24. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. And we also see here, various fighters also have natural armor. A capital ship is just going to be better armored than a majority of things, because it's a giant capital ship. So it's going to mitigate 16 damage right off the top. And let's say I shoot with my laser. I'm going to bypass it completely. I'm not going to have to worry about it. It's got 50 hull. 50 damage. I need to do 50 damage to bring that capital ship to its goddamn knees. Now, I have it blow up. But how am I going to do that right away? Well, I'm also going to have to drop some bombs on it, maybe. But, God, it's got shields. It's got armor. So it's going to block 32 damage. I'm going to have to roll ridiculously high to get my bombs to do that much damage. But what if we disable it with an EMP? What? What? You may actually EMP enable shields for a round if struck. Dump that down. Do 0d6 damage. 3 bump 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 bump. So you're going to need a close distance with your EMP, with a ship with an EMP, but that's a -2 to hit. That's really bad. Or we need to increase the range. We need to dedicate part of our ship to dedicated to just EMP. But that means we're sacrificing firepower elsewhere, and we can put something else. The thing I wanted to get across with ships in general is that you always have value. And whatever you do, you always have it. Like, you always want more. You always want more speed. You always want more guns. You always want something more. You can never quite get it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to scrap this entire thing. And I'm going to... Starship types and bonuses. So here's our basic ship types. We got our size. Pretty much with fighters, your primary goal is you might be able to slap, a bomb on there, maybe a gun. Maybe you want to increase your handling a little bit on it because it's a fighter and you don't want to die immediately to the first thing that can glance at you angrily. So it's like, oh gosh. Or maybe you don't mind about them. Maybe it's okay that you don't have as much, maneuverability as you think you do, as you think you need. Maybe you can sacrifice a little. Make a bomber. Honestly, if you want to make a bomber, if you were to say, I make bomber now, crew quarters by 1, so you can have 2 people in your crew, and bombs. You are completely lightly defended. You are not designed for combat. You need an escort. Definitely, you do need an escort. But The second you come across anything remotely large, you're going to start being able to bomb the shit out of it. And if we go right here, we're going to post this right here, paste unlinked. Tens of thousands. Center, middle, bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Got our size right here. Again, utility size, cargo size. This brings me up here. So utilities obviously need to get a little bit changed up. So we're going to storing goods and resources for a long voyage. Cargo space is for bulk goods. Is for bulk goods. And depending on the size of the ship, can have larger or smaller amounts of units available. Footnote: a unit is a size of a product that can be stored safely. A decent sized mech would be 1 unit. A ton of apples is also 1 unit. Yep, abstract sizes, baby. Boom. Engines. Allow the ship to move 1 SD further. Depending on the size of the ship. Each utility, they take up more or less slots. Engines. Shield battery. Increasing the strength of your shields by 2. Actually, by the size of the ship value. Crew quarter up to the capacity of the ship. And hangar specific section of the ship outfitted to carry fighter craft and destroyers. We'll just say it's 10 fighters, one wing, 2 wings, 4 wings. Let's scroll all the way down to cruisers. I don't even have carriers. Then why do we have carriers here? Unless we want to talk about frigates. Frigate, 1 wing. Actually, I'll change that to I'll change this to frigate. This to a destroyer. Let's make that a quarter. Frigates are smiling. Just like you have 5 fighters, you have a bay of 5 fighters. That's really it. Just to defend yourself with. Hangars. Outfitted with fighter craft. If damaged in battle, a fighter can return and be repaired the next turn. And And this means we're also going to deal with armor plating. Armor plating. The ship increases its armor value by +3. Yeah, by plus 3. Increase the strength of the ship. Armor value by +3. So if you don't really want that on like capitals. Actually, yeah, you kind of want that on capitals, wouldn't you? So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. Actually increase them by the size of the ship. You see, I'm doing that a lot because I kind of need to. And then we're going to do hull reinforcements. Four equal. Increases the hull of the ship by the size of the ship. And let's see, crew quarters, targeting computers. Yeah, targeting computers and piloting computers. Sophisticated computerized systems give the ship a +1 to strike to attack with all weapons. Piloting computer. Ship has a complex algorithms and ship based computerized programs make piloting easier in the heat of battle. Gain a The ship has a +1 to handling. Alright, time to watch my eyes bleed. Yippee-ki-yay. I knew that was going to happen. Oof, oof, oof. Got a big old picture right there. Now what we need to do is insert column to the right, insert column to the right, insert column to the right. Shield modifier, armor modifier, hull modifier. So 3, 5, 10. Oh, actually, I already have the hull modifier. So I can actually delete this. Right, didn't mean to click that. Delete this column. Get Control X right there, insert column right, insert column right, delete column, utility size, and what I can do is delete these two columns. And shoot you out, make you a little bit bigger. Oh god, why are you all the way down there? Alright, okay, alright, let's do this. Let's extend you out that way. What do you want? Perfect. Let's see. Okay, hull modifier 153, and we're going to go with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Armor modifier. Let's see. We have our natural 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Actually, what we could do is 3, 5, 7. Yeah, that works. 7, so that would be 9, that would be 11. There we go. Cargo size and units. Actually, can I shrink you down a little bit? No. Unless I extend you out a little this way, you out this way, you this way. Just shrink everything this. Welcome to Notepad, trying desperately to make sure everything fits beautifully. Delicious. Absolutely astounding. That's what I like to see. Starship combat, damage multiplier. Actually, I should not insert DMG. I should do damage multiplier. Oh yeah, you came weird because you were just a table I made. So based on length. And this is why we don't trust tables. I do like my tables, but they also are kind of frustrating sometimes. Let's extend you out a little bit this way, a little bit this way. Now let's see if it will let me do what I want it to. See, I wish I could just delete. Actually, if I do this, maybe. Do that. Just have you blank. Distribute, center, middle. Yeah, that works. It's not the most beautiful thing I've ever made, but definitely works. Insert footnotes. Paste without formatting. Select all of you, hit backspace. This worked. I'll be really happy. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Okay. Unless, this might work. No. Center, middle, done, 0.75, okay, boom. So if a frigate, let's say a destroyer, attempts to hit a fighter, they're going to take a -4 to their hit. If capital tries to fight a fighter, if a capital attempts to attack the fighter, yeah, okay. Yep, everything works there. Everything works there. The damage multiplier. Pretty much if a capital hits a fighter with just about fucking anything, that fighter is dead. What? That's the point. Because fighters are not exactly what we'd like to call intimidating, unless they have bombs, but it's very hard to hit them. So, as a capital ship, why in God's name would you try to be shooting down fighters when you can be literally trying to shoot down anything else in the world? And let me see, is that it for... Yes, I think that's it for starship combat. Finally, jeez. I can give utilities its own page. I'm just gonna have to make sure to remember to put a big old picture right here for that, and maybe a smaller one right here, but yeah, that'll work. All right. Transhumanism, bioaugmentation, and cybernetics. We're making it. Actually, if we wrap this up tonight, we may not have to worry about it tomorrow. So, let's do it. You know what, screw it. Let's power through it. Characters are malleable. A changing force in the universe that allows them to influence it unpredictably. Unfortunately, the universe also allows itself to change the characters unpredictably. Blown off arms. Blown off arms. Chopped off legs. Scorched hands. And a variety of other debilitating effects will occur to the players, to the characters, I mean, inevitably. When this occurs, or the characters, when this occurs, or if the characters choose to augment themselves to greater heights, augmentation comes in. There are two types of augmentation: bio-augments and cybernetic. Bio-augmentation is the process of artificially growing, manufacturing, and overall producing new fleshy substances for the character to enjoy and use. Cybernetics are complex and meticulously crafted tools of technological development that allows a character to make themselves more robotic in the name of progress. When a character needs or wants to augment themselves, the character has to choose three things. Actually, how do I want to word this? Turn that down a little bit. Nope. There we go. Let's see. How do I want to word this? Now, right and proper like. Effectively, I want to give them a bonus. Put a penalty at the same time. I don't know how to word that. I know how to word it. I don't know how to do it right. Because the idea is there. So, these are wants to augment themselves. We must choose which limb is being replaced and how. Bio-augments are often more costlier but blend in easier, or replicating natural phenomenon, while cybernetics are simply metal integrated with flesh. Outside the restoration and use of the limb, the character receives a +1. Outside the restoration and use of the limb, character may opt to purchase higher quality augments that give them unique abilities. As long as the character is using the augment in question, the character receives with a bonus. For example, bio augmentation, echolocation. The character has outfitted a majority of their senses to detect threats via echolocation. This phenomenon makes it partially difficult to weed out specific sounds, but that's a terrible one to go off of. Artificial. The character has installed a second heart in their system. This allows them to increase their blood flow and their overall health during times of crisis, increasing their flesh wounds by +5, but due to the receives the bonus and potentially a penalty. But due to the stress on the body, they have -5 critical wounds. So they die faster if they are actually... Yeah, so pretty much you are taking one thing from one place and moving it to another. That's the key idea. So I get +5 flesh wounds where I'm not taking any penalties. In exchange, I'm taking -5 to my critical wounds. Like, I'm dying now. Help. You don't got to worry about that. Because your hearts are going to explode and kill you. However, for example, cybernetics, slicer arm. The character has outfitted their arm with a complex knife-like, sword-like appendage that makes it easy for them to use. Makes a readily available melee weapon at their disposal. This weapon is a sword with the natural tag, but dealing how they have a slicer arm. They have a slicer arm now. They are unable to use the limb naturally, and suffer a -6 to any check in using it for fine manipulation. As you literally have a sword for an arm, I'm going to attempt to open this door now. Click, 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 clickety, clack, clickety, clack, aggressive stabbing. Yeah, that ain't gonna work for you. Even though that's an amusing sight to see if you want to be Captain Sword Arms and just have 2 sword arms and walk around and get angry at people. More inspiration juice. Overall, more expensive a augmentation costs, the less penalties it has to worry about. However, the cheaper augmentations may be the only ones available. In which case, in which case penalties may be greater. Side notes on it, on cyborgs. If a character wishes to start as a cyborg, a character which is primarily cybernetic, let's see if this is a word, everyone. But bioaugmentation. I'm going to the vile place called TV Tropes and hoping for the best. Let's see. God, what would be a good term for these guys? Bioborg doesn't work. Bylat. Gene edited. And the gene edited. As a cyborg, which is primarily cybernetic. Or starts with cybernetics. Or a gene-edited individual. Edited individual. Which is primarily a cybernet, a character who's primarily cybernetic or starts with cybernetics or gene-edited individual with bioaugmentations. Bioaugmentation. They are able to do such. As a character may forego a positive attribute bonus in exchange for one cybernetic or bioaugmentation when they run out of attribute bonuses, because they may opt to reduce their attributes by one for each additional attribute. For the game master, starting augmentations should be roughly average in quality, not dirt poor awful or fantastically overpowered. A cybernetic arm may be the slicer arm example above, and the two examples above would be considered fairly average in quality for starting characters. So effectively what this is saying, this is my kind of diatribe on that, is, yeah, you can technically, if you want to do a full conversion cyborg, and I do mean both legs, both arms, chest, head. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, effectively. So you'd have to take a -6 to all of your -6 overall to your attributes. Now, you may be able to compensate for that with the fact that, hey, I got a free weapon on my arm. I have a, my head gives me, +2 to any scholarship role I make in this particular field. You may want to choose to specialize yourself a little bit more, but the thing is, you're going to have penalties on your overall rolls until you start either A, improving yourself, or B, getting better augmentations. And that's kind of the key thing there, is that you want to kind of upgrade yourself, unlike other characters who, if you have character A and character B, with character A being a cyborg and character B not, character B really just has to worry about milestones, leveling up. He's going to have higher skills, he's going to have higher attributes, but the cyborg character is going to have to worry about, hey, I can switch out my slicer arm for a cannon arm, or I can change out my arm for this. You have a little bit more modularity, and maybe that's what you want your character to be. Maybe that's kind of an idea for you, is, you're this, super cybernetic soldier who just keeps ripping your arms off and replacing them with more cool arms, or, change your legs up every now and again to fit the combat zone, or your gene-edited space marine death machine that wants to kill everyone in a 15-mile radius. It's... overall, I think cyborgs are better fitted for this kind of character rather than gene edited. But if you want to have gene edits, like if you have a very specific character concept in mind, I wouldn't stop one of my players. I'll say that. If they say I want to be a super soldier, and that's kind of like my backstory, is that I was a super soldier, and the company that we're going up against screwed me over, and so I'm on a quest for revenge. Cool. And you may have some bio augments on you. Like, yeah, you have a second heart. Yeah, you have a I'm trying to think of like other bio augments. Oh yeah, you have dark vision. You can see in the dark, or you have all these cool things because you're a goddamn super soldier, but you're also bumblefuck retarded and have the social skills of about a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old hyped up on sugar cubes. You're not going to be useful outside your one thing, but that could be an interesting concept. Again, I've been on more than one RimWorld run where I've had a super soldier be very valuable to me, but I still have to corral him anytime he decides to get mad at me and then beat one of the colonists to death. Now I'm remembering when my super soldier beat a colonist to death, and I feel sad. Press F to pay respects to Barnacles. Was my beautiful tailor who really pissed off his neighbor who did not like him because he slept with his wife. Good times, good times. Formatting. We want to insert table right there. Cyborgs and the gene edited. There we go. So we're going to have to slap down one picture right here, picture right here. But overall, I do believe we're done. I'm going to change this. I just needed this to change it, and, your very existence is a joke, man. I don't know why you're up here. You're going to be literally anywhere else than right there. Let's put you right. Oh, goodness. That's double bad. Oh, golly. Okay, I'm going to put you over there for now. Okay, let's hit that. Let's update everything. Oh, my lordy. Actually, let's hit... Oh, coming out. Calm. There we go. I'm going to delete that, actually. Because we need to update this. Alright. Everything's here. Now we get to do the fun part of cleaning. Let's take a look. What is cleaning, for those who don't know, as I've gotten a few new followers over the case of me bugging my friends. So So we've written the entire game. The game is done. All we need to do now is go through it and make sure all the, you know, our T's are crossed, our I's are dotted, and various other things. So 3d6 plus attribute plus skill plus modifiers. Check. Galaxy far, far away. Space opera. Science fiction. Down the war story. This is what we do in cleaning. We fix that. By being atrociously awful and by being key human performance. Note human performance. Not alien, not robot. Not 6, not 5, not 6.5 foot tall death machine. Actually, not a 350 pound death machine with claws and a hunger for player characters. With words, investigative ability, education, learn knowledge, reflexes. I'm still going back and forth whether or not I want to add this fifth skill and pretty much make that senses, but every time I think about, like, I'm going to change, add the new one. This is a great idea. I quickly sit on my hands and say, that's a terrible idea. Absolutely atrocious, because I'm going to be able to put like 1, maybe 2 skills in it, and then I'll just spread the skills out more, and I'll spread their attributes out more. The numbers there don't work. Which sucks, by the way. But maybe I'll come back to this, maybe I won't. Oh yeah, this guy was actually really helpful. He actually went through like this entire document, made a bunch of corrections, and pointed out a bunch of stuff. But this entire thing is space boomerangs. Whoever came up with space boomerangs, I want to throw fucking space boomerang at you, jackass. But overall speaking, the skills here are fairly broad because of personal skills. If you want to have a large firearm and then you want to specialize in flamethrowers, it's going to be large firearms, flamethrowers, you know, specialization of flamethrowers, because you have a giant flamethrower, awesome, badass, make a cool, Mr. and Mrs. Cool. If you want to have a crossbow, small firearms, that work. I should do like large range, small range, but I think the firearms kind of get across the idea a bit more, a little bit more elegant than just ranged. Because you say large range, small ranged, it doesn't quite, it's way too broad, arguably. Oh, do I roll my small range for small range skill for throwing a rock? So am I equally good at throwing a rock as I am at, shooting someone with a handgun? Like, and it's one of those things, like, I could probably add a skill somewhere called throwing. You know what? Fuck it. Toe? Yeah, TRW. Ability to toss, throw. And how formal do I want this to be? Or space opera. Am I using the word yeet in a rulebook? Yes, I am using the word yeet in a rulebook, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Make you go away, actually. There's many signs. Humanoid, mammalian, reptilians, plantoid, as well, and empathetic people who are nonetheless subject to their own leafy failings. It's being a medical facility in the sun. Rock solid, armor 3. Oh, you're cutting out a little bit. Also, these guys are my favorite Imperial Guard regiment because they effectively use laser muskets, and it's awesome. Side note, but I want to play an X. The above races are there as a template to be used by players and the game master to create game if I can actually spell game master to create their desired story. If you want to play a psychic, CIC, yeah, psychic capable race of blue space women, psychic capable blue space women, neat. Choose humanoid. Neat. They may get a +1 to education, +1 EDU, a -1 to bod, -1 to bod, with a PS1, with a psychic. It's gonna bug me till I. Chick. Psych chick. Psych chick. Psychic race. Space woman neat. Yeah, get a +1. Psychic personal skills. Oh. We want to play as a proud warrior race of albino super soldiers. They may get a +2 to bod, but a -1 to EDU to represent their lack of formal education. Create what you want. Keep in mind that it should roughly equal 1. By that, I mean a race should give more than it takes, but not be excessive in what it gives. If it's a single personal skill. It's a single attribute point. Etc., etc. Etc., etc. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding. Hello, phone. How are you? Let me guess. It's either going to be the news telling me the world's on fire, or it's going to be my mum. It's my mum. Someone telling me I don't know how to write things in my own books. So, yippee-ki-yay. The above races are template, but I want to play X. I think in any, like, sci-fi, I think it's a lot harder to do than fantasy when it comes to races, because there's such a pure number of them that could potentially occur. Now, you could have things like Mass Effect. Like, Mass Effect overall had, like, its core races. You had the Turians, humans, Quarians, Solarians, Asari, Krogan, Volus, Elcor, Hanar, whatever the fuck Thane was. I can't remember. Drell, that was it. Drell, Vitarians. Okay, this is a terrible example, but there's a lot of races in Mass Effect. But you only really encounter Turians, Asari, humans. Those are your core three, Solarians occasionally, and some Krogan. Those are your main core amount of things. You're not really encountering as major characters anyone else, really. Yeah, humans, Turians, Asari. Those are your big ones. Hell, even your Mass Effect 2 is another terrible example, because you had such an awesome and diverse cast of characters as your party members. Mass Effect 3 would be a better one, as a majority of them are fucking human. Gath, can't forget Gath. But again, your Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 1, you had 2 humans, Kaidan and Ashley, Garrus, Rex, Liara. Who else did you have in Mass Effect 1? You can tell how much I actually remember from Mass Effect 1. Who's my squad mates in Mass Effect 1? Yeah, that's it. Oh, Tali. I always forget. Poor Tali. Like, you have all these different characters in Mass Effect 2, and then you have but a lot of these characters in 3 are like, oh, like, that's fine, that's cool. Like, these ones don't really do anything. Even though I went through a majority of the game with Liara and Rex as my buddies. Oh, I always killed Ash. I always ended up killing Kaidan. I hated Kaidan. Kaidan was dumb. I wanted the waifu Tali, but my life is unfortunately sworn to my waifu. That's not a good bit rate. Why are you red? Nothing has changed. Is everything fine? Am I coming in fine? Alright then. Let's see. Series 1, 2d6, further reduces 0 series wins, enter critical wins, 1 critical wins, characters critical. Characters win. Wounds reduced by 1 until they bleed to death. Second critical wounds, they perish. Pass out from the pain and serious critical wounds. Maneuver, multiple attacks, space distance. And then we have our SD to grids. Sheetrock walls. Difference between heroes and expendables. Promotions by our various Xenos menace, flashlights and bayonet, various equipments, which effectively roll down to kinetic this, shotgun this. Do I actually have scope stun? I'm going to take thrown out, and I'm going to replace it with shotgun. I'm going to have to replace it with shotgun, aren't I? Let's do Control X, Control Z, shotgun. And let's scroll back up to shotguns. So SD. I'm actually going to reduce all the damage of shotguns by 1 real fast. There's a reason for that. This weapon has a spread combat for every SD closer from max range. The character is they gain plus 1d6 damage. So effectively speaking, if we're using, let's say, this energy shotgun here, if I close the distance by 2, I'm going to do 66 damage. And I'm pretty much going to be, you know, if I'm right up in their face, shoot them with a shotgun, I'm going to, actually, let's bump the 4, 5, 6. You know what, screw it, let's bump it back up. So, effectively, this is, like, the sawed-off shotgun is very valuable, because if you can close the distance to 2, you're going to do 66. I'm actually going to turn that down to 5d6. The 5d6 damage, but again, getting close is its own horrific, you know, nightmare to do. You know, it's, you have to close the distance, you have to shoot the gun, and you only get 2 shots. So if you miss your first shot, ew. If you miss your second shot, ew. You know, luckily for the sawed-off shotgun, your kind of your advantage is the fact that you can go up there and you're just going to pull the trigger and hopefully have 2 bullets that can shred anyone, because you might be doing upwards of 76 damage. However, if you miss both of those shots, like I am moron, well, you're screwed, because you're going to be dead. And dead people don't do things, because you're dead. Okay. We have our various armor types. I'm not going to do too in-depth with the armor. I think these work fairly well. I also have my note with energy shields to replicate Dune's methodology if shot with an enemy. To replicate Dune's methodology, if you're shot with an energy weapon with a shield, everyone dies. Yeah, no, if you want to have fun, it's that. You know, just play with the Dune method. You're like, oh, I'm going to shoot you with my laser gun. And everyone's dead. You know, how to end campaign with one wacky boy. I'm going to type turn emergency up. Make this look a little bad bootlegger turn. Controlling a skid. Yeah, Pukachev's Cobra, which is insanity, and you should never try because it's weird. Speed value per turn if character kind of on. We have our various ones. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. 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 Let's see. We have our various fighters, our armaments. We're gonna have to put a picture right there. Let's play with it. Psychic combat actually turned out pretty well. I actually kind of like how psychic combat is. It's simple enough that you can do whatever you want with it. The problem, you know, the issue is that you can always push yourself and blow your head off. Let's see, synthetic revolution and robots and androids. Giant fucking mecha because mecha's cool. see, we got our war machines, our power armor, like armament. I should put a note right here with organic slayer. Actually, since we note it up here first. Footnote organic slayer. Weapon gains plus 1d6 damage against an opponent. That is primarily organic. So yeah, you can't use your chain axe is not going to be as valuable as, actually I should put stacks. Chain axe, not as valuable against robot. Chain axe versus kaiju, very effective. Just shred that man, just shred him alive. Do cool, you know, aggressive guitar noises as they come down. Because you're a cool dude, he does cool dude things for cool reasons. That's giant question. Asteroids have a size of 1 to 5. Yeah, if you want to colonize an asteroid, you technically can with this. You just slap an asteroid in there and have a giant, you know, farm on it and harvest organics and ship it to your colony that you may have, or make a moon out of it. There's a lot you can do with that. Marketeering, transhumanism. I'll slap a picture right there. Slap a picture right there, and that's actually done. So if we scroll all the way up here, I'll probably have to add all these pictures elsewhere. Update it one last time. All right, so let's take a look back at our base. So we're going to go to, once it actually loads up. It's the Brunhilde. Word count here. Word count here. All right. So, roughly speaking, standard issue science fiction is done. So, we started off with our base copy at 49 pages. 8,460 words, and our updated version has 78 pages. Oh wow, that's a lot of pages. And 13,062 words. So roughly speaking, I'm looking at about almost a 30-page increase and about a 4,000-ish. Yeah, about 4,500-ish increase in word count. So I think we did quite a bit here. I think this was a fairly successful update process. And now since this is done, the easy part is done. Well, the hard part, I should say, for 2 other games. I've only been streaming for an hour and a half. It's only 9. It's still pretty early. Now we get to move on to our next project. Now, I did discuss what our next project is probably going to be. So if we exit out of here, standard issue science fiction, actually, we got to go back here, change working to updated. Let's make sure everything is... Well, let's just make sure, and it is updated. Perfect. Goodbye, gun autism. So standard issue science fiction has its roots, you could say, as its pause, or whatever, however you want to word this, in two other games I've done. That being Where the Light Fades Softly, as well as Racial Holy War. Racial Holy War is just going to need to be me having to express how to do it properly. Because there's two ways of doing it properly. The first way is being a big old meme. And when I mean a big old meme, I mean a big old meme. I mean Memetronics Rex. Down the meme train, going all the way to Meme Town. I'm lost at this point. And just embracing the insanity of it. Alternatively, the other one, on the other hand, is Where the Light Fades Softly. If you watch this, I actually did reference this one quite often, because it's only 19 pages. It's actually not a terribly long game. It's only 25 pages because I made gear a little, because I added a apocalyptic story. But what I'm debating on, yeah, I've just used SIF vehicle rules. So, I'm just going to be adding a lot of stuff here. It's literally going to be a lot of me copy, pasting A to B, and adding things, changing things around. The main difference is how combat is approached in this game. Because you're not really supposed to you don't want to fight. That's kind of the big thing, because it depends on how much gear you're carrying, and actually bogs you down. If you're carrying too much stuff, obviously you're not going to be fighting as well. On the other hand, having way too much, pretty much this game is more about managing yourself rather than managing, your combat. Standard issue science fiction is very much about being a larger than life space hero on a quest to save this galaxy from, Galaxor. This one's about being a down on your luck Russian crawling on your belly 5 miles to get out of the zone, because you're going to get mauled by giant alligators that are completely made of radioactive sadness that wants to devour you and your soul. That is what this game isn't about. The combat. It's not about the shooty bang bang, haha, look at me, I'm better than you because I have a bigger gun, lamau. It's a game about fighting tooth and nail for every step, about picking your battles to be careful, about learning, hey, okay, we know there's 3 of them heavily armed people there, how do we sneak around them? Because an open firefight will get us killed. And how it's very easy to die in this system, because armor's not useful. Armor doesn't reduce D6s. It's a flat value. And armor bogs you down. It means you can't carry as much stuff, and you're acting slower. If you're acting slower, guess what? You're not being as effective. So you always have to kind of have this push and pull of being effective versus not being effective, and trying your best to survive. Because that's where it is. This game is where the light fades softly. Whether the light's from your eyes or your enemies, doesn't matter. So, that wraps me up today. Again, tomorrow we'll probably be working on Where the Light Fades Softly, or I'll just embrace the meme and go for Racial Holy War. And what I do mean by embracing the meme, I do mean we're going full Memetronics Rex. There will be no survivors, and if someone hasn't burst a blood vessel by the end of just the sheer audacity and madness going on, I'm going to feel like personally hurt. But we're going down the crazy train, and there's going to be no survivors. I do have a few ideas of how to do it. And again, a lot of the time it's just going to be me. Control C, Control V. Oh Jesus, yeah. Nah, this one's just gonna be fun to stream in general, because I can't say words that are in the book. And the problem is why I can't say the words is because they're not good words. And good word. And I'm saying I'm screwed when it comes to this game, and there's no good way of doing it. And I just need to embrace memehood. I might make a thread on 4chan being it's like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it. I need your help to make this as memic as possible and to really escalate this from normal things to not normal and very strange. And it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. We're going to love it. So, I'm going to link the correct version now of science fiction. Double feature. Dr. X will build a creature. Na 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 na. Through the late nights. I can't really sing it anymore because I'm losing my mind. So, thank you all for watching, for anyone who has been watching, and you're probably the only person watching who's asleep at this point. I don't blame you. I'm a sleeping individual. Sleepy. So, thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.